Welcome to ePathshala. I am Dr. Shakila, Avinashalingam University, speaking on management and disposal of food wastes. Food wastes are an organic residue from the processing of agricultural raw materials to food, which arise as liquid and solid wastes. The wastewater results from the cleaning processes or in the form of excessive or polluted processed water. Its dry material content is typically less than 5% by mass. It possibly also contains organic or inorganic cleaning agents or disinfectants. Solid food wastes with an organic origin have remarkably higher water content. They are usually characterized by constant quality and purity due to the foregone processes. The fact that these substances are removed from production process as undesirable ingredients makes them by definition wastes. The term byproduct, which is common in industry, points up that these are mostly ulterior usable substances, often with a market value. Waste disposal is one of the major problems facing most food processing plants. Agriculture as the traditional way of waste utilization, a consequential outcome because most raw materials are also from agricultural origin, is no longer available due to major changes in law and technology. Furthermore, new kinds of process engineering and resultant new products are increasingly interesting. Food is lost or wasted throughout the supply chain, from initial agricultural production down to final household consumption. In medium and high income countries, food is to a significant extent wasted at the consumption stage, meaning that it is discarded even if it is still suitable for human consumption. Significant losses also occur early in the food supply chains in the industrialized regions. In low income countries, food is lost mostly during the early and middle age stages of the food supply chain. Much less food is wasted at the consumer level. Overall, on a per capita basis, much more food is wasted in the industrialized world than in developing countries. The causes of food losses and waste in low-income countries are mainly connected to financial, managerial, and technical limitations in harvesting techniques, storage, and cooling facilities in difficult climatic conditions, infrastructure, packaging, and marketing systems. Given that many smallholder farmers in developing countries live on the margins of food insecurity, a reduction in food losses could have an immediate and significant impact on their livelihoods. The causes of food losses and waste in medium and high income countries mainly relate to consumer behavior as well as to a lack of coordination between different actors in the supply chain. Farmer-buyer sales agreements may be contributed to quantities of farm crops being wasted. Food can be wasted due to quality standards, which rejects food items not perfect in shape or appearance. At the consumer level, insufficient purchase planning and expiring best before dates also cause large amount of waste, in combination with the careless attitude of those consumers who can afford to waste food. Food waste in an industrialized countries can be reduced by raising awareness among food industries, retailers, and consumers. There is a need to find good and beneficial use for safe food that is presently thrown away. Food wastage includes both food losses, which occur at the production, post-harvest, and processing stages, and food waste, which arises at the retail and consumption stages. Generally speaking, raw and auxiliary materials as well as processing aids enter the production process and exit as one of the following: as a desired product, non-product specific waste, or as product specific waste. The amount and quality of the product can be influenced almost completely independently of the type and quality of non-product specific waste. A typical example of non-product specific waste would be containers for chemicals involving in cleaning and disinfection. It is characteristic of product specific waste that the generated mass of waste relative to production levels can only be altered through technical means, which often unavoidably leads to a change in product quality. Typical examples of product specific waste are spent grains from beer production, slaughterhouse waste from meat production, tea leaves, orange and potato peels, or old bread. Product specific waste unavoidably accumulates as a result of processing raw materials. It is produced during the various steps of production in which the desired components are extracted from the raw materials. After extraction, there are still often other potentially useful components present in the remaining materials. Waste in the food industry is characterized by a high ratio of product specific waste. This not only means that the generation of this waste is unavoidable, but also that the amount and kind of waste produced, which consists primarily of the organic residue of the processed raw materials, can scarcely be altered if the quality of the finished product is to remain consistent. The utilization and disposal of product specific waste is difficult due to its inadequate biological stability, its potentially pathogenic nature, its high water content, its potential for rapid autooxidation, as well as its high level of enzymatic activity. The diverse types of waste generated by various branches of the food industry can be quantified based upon each branch's respective level of production. Classification and properties. The food and beverage industry is the largest manufacturing sector globally. Waste disposal and byproduct management in the food processing industry pose problems within the areas of environmental protection and sustainability. The current methods further utilization of product specific waste have developed along traditional lines and have been closely bound to the agricultural origins of raw materials themselves. About 1/3 of food for human consumption is lost or wasted globally each year. In addition, when food is wasted, all of the resources that were put into its production are also lost. Not only are these increasingly scarce resources, such as water and fuel, lost, but greenhouse gas emissions are also associated with the disposal of food. Therefore, food wastage represents a missed opportunity to feed the growing world population, a major waste of resources, and a needless source of greenhouse emissions that impacts climate change. It also has a negative economic consequences for everyone along the food chain when food goes waste. The two general methods of traditional waste utilization have been to use the waste as either animal feed or fertilizer. Many of the existing agricultural solutions of waste disposal are balancing acts between legal regulations and the best ecological economic solutions. The following figure shows food wastage as food loss and food waste. Disposal of this waste can be difficult for the following reasons: biological stability and the potential growth of pathogens. Many types of waste material either already contain large numbers of microbes and or will be altered quickly through microbial activity. If regulations concerning infectious disease are not properly observed, then hygienically unacceptable conditions can arise, such as through maggots or molds. The breakdown of protein is always characterized by the generation of strong odors. High water content. The water content of meat and vegetable waste lies between 70 and 95% by mass. High water content increases transport costs of the waste. Mechanically removing the water through use of a press can lead to further problems with waste water disposal, due to high level of organic material in the water. Rapid auto-oxidation. Waste with a high fat content is susceptible to oxidation, which in turn leads to the release of foul-smelling fatty acids. Changes due to enzymatic activity. In many types of waste arising from vegetables and fruits, enzymes are still active, which accelerate or intensify the reactions involved in spoilage. Food waste or loss is measured only for products that are directed to human consumption, excluding feed and parts of products which are not edible. Per definition, food losses or waste are the names of food lost or wasted in the part of the food chains leading to edible products going to human consumption. Therefore, food that was originally meant for human consumption but which fortunately gets out the human food chain is considered as food loss or waste, even it is then directed to a non-food use. This approach distinguishes planned non-food uses to unplanned non-food uses, which are hereby accounted under losses. Types of food losses or wastes. 5 system boundaries were distinguished in the food supply chain of vegetable and animal commodities. Food loss or waste were estimated for each of these segments of the food supply chains. The following aspects were considered: vegetable commodities and products, agricultural production losses due to mechanical damage or spillage during harvest operations, crops sorted out during post-harvest, etc. Post-harvest handling and storage, including losses due to spillage and degradation during handling, storage and transportation between farm and distribution. Processing, including losses due to spillage and degradation during industrial or domestic processing. Example, juice production, canning and bread baking. Losses may occur when crops are sorted out if not suitable to process, or during washing, peeling, slicing and boiling, or during process interruptions and accidental spillage. Distribution, including losses and waste in the market system at example whole markets, supermarkets, retailers and wet markets. Consumption, including losses and waste during consumption at the household level. Animal commodities and products. Agricultural production for bovine, pork and poultry meat, losses refer to animal death during breeding. For fish, losses refer to discards during fishing. For milk, losses refer to decreased milk production due to dairy cow sickness. Post-harvest handling and storage for bovine, pork and poultry meat, losses refer to death during transport to slaughter and condemnation at slaughterhouse. For fish, losses refer to spillage and degradation using icing, packaging, storage and transportation after landing. For milk, processing losses refer to spillage and degradation during transportation between farm and distribution. During processing, for bovine, pork and poultry meat, losses refer to trimming, spillage during slaughtering and additional industrial processing, example, sausage production. For fish, losses refer to industrial processing such as canning or smoking. And for milk, losses refer to spillage during industrial milk treatment such as pasteurization and milk processing too, example, cheese and yogurt. Distribution includes losses and waste in the market system at wholesale markets, supermarkets, retail and wet markets. Consumption include losses and waste at the household level. Food wastage hierarchy. When the food is unable to stay within the human food chain and redirected to feed people, the optimal solution will depend on a case-by-case evaluation. At first, consideration should be whether it can be redirected to feed livestock subject to safety, quality and legislative requirements being met. Other Otherwise, consideration should be given to using it as a raw material for other industries. Example, detergents, inks, cosmetics, plastics and pharmaceuticals, or recovery such as transformed into fertilizer or compost, or used for renewable energy production. Only as a last resort should it be incinerated without energy recovery or sent to the landfill. The following image depicts this hierarchy and is based on existing food waste hierarchies. Individual cases may deviate from this hierarchy. Specific waste streams may depart from the hierarchy where this is justified by life cycle thinking on the overall impacts of the generation and management of such waste. Environmental and social benefits of different management options depend significantly on local conditions such as population density and proximity to other industries and farms. The better food safety and quality are preserved, the more likely it is that food wastage can be prevented, used or redirected to feed animals and industrial use. So, protecting food from damage and spoilage along the chain is paramount. Causes and prevention of food losses and waste. Food is wasted through the food supply chain from initial agricultural production down to final household consumption. In medium and high income countries, food is to a high extent wasted, meaning that it is thrown away, even if it is still suitable for human consumption. Significant food loss and waste, however, also occur earlier in the food supply chain. In low-income countries, food is mostly lost during the production to processing stages of the food supply chain. In industrialized countries, food gets lost when production exceeds demand. In order to ensure delivery of agreed quantities while anticipating unpredictable bad weather or pest attacks, farmers sometimes make production plans on the safer side and end up producing larger quantities than needed even if conditions are average. In the case of having produced more than required, some surplus crops are sold to processors or as animal feed. However, this is often not financially profitable considering lower prices in these sectors compared to those from retailers. Prevention. Communication and cooperation between farmers. Cooperation among farmers could reduce risk of overproduction by allowing surplus crops from one farm to solve a shortage of crops on another. In developing countries and sometimes developed countries, food may be lost due to premature harvesting. Poor farmers sometimes harvest crops too early due to food deficiency or the desperate need for cash during the second half of the agricultural season. In this way, the food incurs a loss in nutritional and economic value and may get wasted if it is not suitable for consumption. Prevention. Organizing small farmers and diversifying up, scaling their production and marketing. Small resources poor farmers can be organized in groups to produce a variety of significant quantities of cash crops or animals. In this way, they can receive credit from agricultural financial institutions or advance payments from buyers of the produce. High appearance quality standards from supermarkets for fresh products lead to food waste. Some produce is rejected by supermarkets at the farm gate due to rigorous quality standards concerning weight, size, shape, and appearance of the crops. Large portion of crops never leave the farms. Even though some rejected crops are used as animal feed, the quality standards might divert food originally aimed for human consumption to other uses. Prevention. Consumer surveys by supermarkets. Supermarkets seem convinced that consumers will not buy food which has the wrong weight, size, or appearance. Surveys do, however, show that consumers are willing to buy heterogeneous produce as long as the taste is not affected. consumers have the power to influence the quality standards, and this could be done by questioning them and offering them a broader quality range of products in the retail stores. Poor storage facilities and lack of infrastructure cause post-harvest food losses in developing countries. Fresh products like fruits, vegetables, meat and fish straight from the farm or after the catch can be spoiled in hot climates due to lack of infrastructure for transportation, storage, cooling and markets. Prevention: investment in infrastructure and transportation. Government should improve the infrastructure for roads, energy and markets. Subsequently, private sector investments can improve storage and cold chain facilities as well as transportation. Unsafe food is not fit for human consumption and therefore is wasted. Failure to comply with minimum food safety standards can lead to food losses and in extreme cases impact on the food security status of a country. A range of factors can lead to food being unsafe, such as naturally occurring toxins on food itself, contaminated water, unsafe use of pesticides and veterinary drug residues. Poor and unhygienic handling and storage conditions and lack of adequate temperature control can also cause unsafe food. Prevention: develop knowledge and capacity of food chain operators to apply safe food handling practices. Food chain operators should be skilled and knowledgeable in how to produce safe food. Foods need to be produced, handled and stored in accordance with food safety standards. This requires the application of good agricultural and good hygienic practices by all food chain operators to ensure that the final food protects the consumer. Inadequate market systems cause high food losses in developing countries. To minimize losses, the commodities produced by farmers need to reach the consumers in an efficient way. There are too few wholesale, supermarket and retail facilities providing suitable storage and sales conditions for food products. Wholesale and retail markets in developing countries are often small, overcrowded, unsanitary and lack cooling equipment. Prevention: marketing cooperatives and improved market facilities. Marketing cooperatives are organizations providing a central point for assembling produce from small farmers and preparing commodities for transportation to markets and other distribution channels. The marketing cooperatives should be able to reduce food losses by increasing the efficiency of these activities. Although the development of wholesale and retail markets should preferably be done by the private sector, local governments and marketing cooperatives can be instrumental in establishing and improving market facilities. To conclude, the issue of food losses is of high importance in the efforts to combat hunger, raise income, and improve food security in the world's poorest countries. Food losses have an impact on food security for poor people, on food quality and safety, on economic development, and on the environment. The exact causes of food losses vary throughout the world and are very much dependent on the specific conditions and local situation in a given country. In broad terms, conditions of food losses will be influenced by crop production, choices and patterns, internal infrastructure and capacity, marketing chains and channels for distribution, and consumer purchasing and food use practices. Irrespective of the level of economic development and maturity of systems in a country, food losses should be kept to a minimum. The food supply chains in developing countries need to be strengthened by encouraging small farmers to organize and to diversify and upscale their production and marketing. Investments in infrastructure, transportation, food industries and packaging industries are also required. Both the public and private sectors have a role to play in achieving this. Economically avoidable food losses have a direct and negative impact on the income of both farmers and consumers. Given that many small holders live on the margins of food insecurity, a reduction in food losses could have an immediate and significant impact on their livelihoods. For poor consumers, the priority is clearly to have an access to food products that are nutritious, safe and affordable. It is important to note that food insecurity is often more a question of access than a supply problem. Improving the efficiency of the food supply chain could help to bring down the cost of food to the consumer and thus increase the access. Given the magnitude of food losses, making profitable investments in reducing losses could be one way of reducing the cost of food. But that would of course require financial gains from reduced losses are not outweighed by their costs. While increasing primary food production paramount to beat the food increase in final demand, tension between production and access to food can also be reduced by tapping into the potential to reduce food losses. Efficient solutions exist along the whole food chain for reducing total amounts of food and wasted. Actions should not only be directed towards isolated parts of the chain, since what is done in one part has effects in others. In low-income countries, measures should be foremost have a producer perspective. Example, by improving harvest techniques, farmer education, storage facilities and cooling chains. In industrialized countries, on the other hand, solutions at producer and industrial level would only be marginal if consumers continue to waste at current levels. Consumer households need to be informed and change the behavior which causes another current high levels of food waste. Another point to be stressed is that the food supply chain of today is more and more globalized. Certain food items are produced, transformed and consumed in very different parts of the world. The impact of growing international trade on food losses still has to be better assessed. Thank you.